Hey, this is just a quick demonstration of the code I wrote for assignment 5 in CIS 4301. So we'll just get right into just a brief code overview. So I used a JFrame, and my main class extends that. These are all the freaking things that are on the JFrame. So I do some initialization up here. This is just a lot of code, but it basically puts them in the right place on the form that I have. This guy just refreshes, it calls a query thing, so it clears all the items. It calls this one pull names, which does actually perform a SQL query, and it just populates the drop-down box. So I sort of tried to separate all the SQL code from the regular stuff, at least decently. So this one, again, is another just Java thing where it's an action listener for the button query. This is the action listener for update. This one actually does have SQL code in it, so the query is basically update flowers, set genus equals, and then whatever the parameter is, so it pulls from my button, or if it pulls from my text field flower genus, flower species, and com name, and then the fourth SQL parameter, this where com name equals, is pulling from, instead it's pulling from the drop-down. It's looking for whichever drop-down item we have selected. So we execute that query, and then we do update our name selector, because that's important to do because we're actually changing the values in it. The insert action performed is very similar. Instead of an update, it's an insert into, and it's actually a good bit simpler because I don't have to like refresh the name selector or anything like that. Then this get query one, just select all from sightings where, and then we escape something. A query name. So the query name is it's which flower we're looking up for. So it'll be a common name, or a name, I guess, in this table. Name ordered by cited, which is the date, and I did descending limit 10, because I think that's what the assignment said, actually. 10 most recent sightings. Yeah, that's exactly what it does. So there's that. I already said pull names. Pull names just select all common name from flowers, and that's the one that I used to populate the drop-down box. And then this one is to connect to the SQL database, and the main method is very brief. And then there's just some variable declarations down there that I needed. Java, as it turns out, takes a lot of lines of code to do something like this. It takes 274, so I wasted a good bit of time. But anyway, let's go ahead and run this. Cool. So you'll see I've got sort of all these text fields. So let's insert a citing for something first. Let's insert a citing for Alpine Lewisia. Spelling is going to be pretty important here, so Alpine Lewisia. Yes. Person, Mark. Location, your mom. And let's do, for the date, let's just do most recent, it's going to be month and then date, like that, insert. So you'll see up here it just says inserted item. Now if I were to query that one, you'll see the most recent one is Mark, your mom. But there are others. It's got Sandra, Jennifer, Helen, Maria, all the ones from the database basically. And so now if we go, we're done with all that. I've demonstrated both of those, that they work. I'll just query a different one real quick. Let's query California flannel bush, I guess. Gotta keep resizing this. Boom, look at that. It's got all the correct ones. Just what would you expect? I mean, it works. Okay. I'll just do a few others. I think you get the idea. It is limited to 10, and it shows the 10 most recent because it's ordered descending. One more thing. So you can update the flowers. So butter and eggs, which by the way doesn't sound like the name of a flower. What the hell? What are these? What is this database seeded with? Okay. let's just call it butter-o, egg-o, bacon and toast. So we're updating the common name to bacon and toast, which you'll see when I do this. The drop-down box is going to flash. It's going to change because it had to update all the entries in there in order for them to still be correct. But now there's a bacon and toast entry. And if I query that, there's probably not going to be anything. And yeah, there's no bacon and toast flowers. Like, who am I kidding? But now if I wanted to update that one back, I could select it again and call it butter and eggs once more. And we'll run that update. Again, flashes. It also says updated item up there. But now there's a butter and eggs. If I query that, it'll show me all the appropriate ones for butter and eggs, just like you would expect. So I think that's about all. Pretty sure this all works just fine, and I'm signing off now.